Hello everyone and welcome to a leveling guide. My name is Paws, and if you don't know me already, I like to give you tips and tricks as well as share my opinion on various mechanics. So let me know if there's anything else that you would like to see a video on. For now, let's focus on leveling. So leveling, you have various ways to level. You can just tunnel vision the campaign, in which case you will probably get in the beta, the campaign gives you level 13, level 12, 13, around that. So I will assume that once you go, you're tunneling the entire campaign in all 5 areas, you're going to reach level 50, but you're not going to get the extra 50 levels for Paragon, up to the cap of 100 that they said is the maximum. In the beta, the maximum is level 25. So even then, you can't just tunnel vision a campaign. You have to do some other stuff for your experience. Now, the biggest tip that I can give you is once you're in town, you can get elixirs that give you experience. It's only 5%, but it does help. It does speed things up, and it also gives you thorns and armor, which is really nice. You feel very, very tanky. So I do recommend you craft some of them. You get sent in the main quests, you get sent to find the hermit guy. He has a lot of flowers around his house. I do recommend you pick those up. And once you do have those picked up, that should be enough for you to craft your things. They're cheap. You really don't have to farm too much to have those elixirs, at least right now. One thing that has been confirmed, and keep that in mind if you're leveling and you plan to practice for when the game is released, is in have known experience, right? Know how it will feel. The drop rates are increased on the beta. They have confirmed that, so you won't get that many legendaries. Do not make your build reliant on them. Except if it's one from a dungeon. The dungeons, the first time you run them through, they have aspects that they unlock for certain classes. Those are fine. That being said, sellers are another alternative way to get some experience. They're rather fast to do. I don't know if I recommend them. I would say for leveling, no. But I would do the sellers just for the chance to encounter a lot of loot goblins. Someone had 3 of them at a time in one seller. That's funny. Or the option to encounter death if you meet the butcher. But yeah, I don't necessarily recommend them for leveling. I don't feel like they're that worth it. And most of the time, they're a bit out of the way. Now, events. I recommend you do the events because the events give you obols. And with obols, you can gamble whatever gear you get. So if you have really unlucky streak, like my barbarian, for example, I only had blues for a very long time on my run. I was not getting anything. I was not getting weapons. The damage felt ass-er. It felt worse than usual because of the weapon. So doing the events, getting obols lets you gamble your currency in town to get items. So I do recommend you farm them. One way that people do farm them is they make new instances. The way you make a new instance is you go into another one and then you go back into the instance and it should put you in a new one, generally. Unless you're in a party, then all of you need to do that. So yeah, event farming. I would recommend you do it. Every time you see an event, just stop. It's really quick to do the events and it doesn't hurt your progression, especially early on. That is if you plan on playing the game while exploring the world. Another way to level is dungeon farming. Once you reach Yelesna, once you're done getting to the town, once you're done with that part of the main quest, instead of continuing it, you can just go to Yelesna and there is a dungeon there that you can farm. That's the one that I plan on trying out and farming. I read this post on Reddit that I can, not that one, that I can agree with. Not that one either. What the heck? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. That's the proper one. So yeah, I did read this post and I agree with it. Speedrunning you lets you just like speedrunning the campaign and just farming dungeons is a good way to get gear and to get to level 25 for the beta. I'm going to do a disclaimer here and say play the game however you want, okay? This is not about how you should play the game, this is more about how you can play the game. So if you want to level really fast, like me, I have played through the campaign. I have done all the like collectible stuff the first time around in the beta. I don't want to do it again. So for Necro and Druid, I want to reach 25 so I can try some builds and see how they feel while I can, right? So again, keep in mind, this is not me telling you how to play. This is make your own decision on how you want to experience the beta. As for leveling in general, I will probably follow the campaign personally when it comes out, but I might do some dungeon farming with people. Another thing to consider, if you're playing in a party, you're playing next to people, that's another thing, right? When you're doing events. If you play next to people without being in a party, you get 5% bonus XP. The elixir gives another 5, and if you're in a party with said person, you get 10% XP. So the game encourages party play, especially when it comes to getting experience. And the way it kind of plays out and feels, I do feel like it heavily encourages people to play together. Especially because if someone revives you, the revive doesn't count towards a limited number of revives, which I heard is a thing for endgame on the more challenging content. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. Ways to level. We went through campaign, we went through events and dungeons. Another thing about dungeons, keep in mind that dungeons, they plan on being there for endgame. It has been confirmed in an interview that we will have, I think they're called nightmare dungeons, where you basically put a sigil on a dungeon and it modifies it in sense of like buffs and debuffs. So when you're going through dungeons, look at the thing that you like about it. Look at the layout, look if you like the objectives that you gotta do, and I don't know if the boss is gonna stay the same for those things or if they get replaced with the sigil, but yeah, just look at the general layout, the mob type, the objective, and the boss. So pick something that you enjoy. I will be doing a video on that as well, ranking up every single dungeon from the ones that we've had so far. It's 23 dungeons. So I will pick out ones that I like for endgame and ones that I really dislike, keeping endgame in mind. Because the first time I played it last weekend on the closed beta, or well, the pre-order beta, I guess that's called, I did not go through the dungeons with that mindset. But this time around, I will be doing that. So yeah, let me know if you want to see any other type of videos as well. Side quests. Side quests are another thing that you can decide, like this one that I'm doing right here, right? That was a very quick one. You just had to go and do an emote to cheer. Keep in mind dungeons. You can leave the dungeons if you open the emote panel. You have a leave dungeon button. That's a thing that the game does not tell you. So side quests, some of them are fast, some of them require you to pick a ton of items up, like click on a lot of things, and some of them require you to go over a lot of things. So when you're doing side quests, my rule of thumb at least is pick them up, pick those quests up. Some of them send you to dungeons, some of them send you in the world, and if you end up doing them, cool. If not, you can just abandon them later. But I feel like there's no downside really to taking the quests. It's a few seconds wasted, I guess, but yeah, you will want to do side quests if you want to do the overall completion. I think earlier, like, let me see. I think earlier I looked at the map over here. Yeah, here it is. So you have fracture peaks over here telling you to get all the waypoints so you can farm renown. And it gives you bonuses like skill points and experience and things like that. So you will want to farm them. The waypoints, strongholds, these are the side quests. A lot of side quests, keep in mind, are going to be drops. Like they drop from monsters or from areas or things like that. So you're not going to find all the side quests yourself. Some of them will just be a blue drop. It's a blue item that you gotta pick up. This is like area exploration, this is the number of dungeons, and this are Lilith altars. For the Lilith altars, unless you really like exploring, I recommend just using a guide for them. Personally, I missed a ton just because I'm not used to paying attention to where the hell I'm walking. And I feel like that's going to be worse when you get mounts in Act 2, because you're literally just gonna half drool while going from area to area. But yeah. Anyway, I digress again. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a pleasant leveling experience. And again, let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see more. And have fun. I shall see you all in another video. Bye.